Andor is quickly becoming the best Star Wars show ever, maybe even better than The Mandalorian. According to multiple sources, we are going to be seeing some very familiar faces in Star Wars Andor, including Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, among others. And on top of all of that, George Lucas has been confirmed to be coming back to write for the show. Now, of course, this show is all just pure potential right now, and we all know how that can turn out. And nothing is going to be confirmed until the show actually hits the screen. But Andor, which again has received like almost no attention, is shaping up to be the best Star Wars show ever. But before we get too into everything that will make this show great, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars content. Now, let's get into why Andor isn't just going to be good, but is going to be better than anything we have seen before. So the first thing that we need to talk about is that this show is going to be taking place several years before Rogue One, around the year 5 BBY, when the rebellion was still young and trying to gain momentum. It will also show a darker side to the rebellion and how they had to do terrible things in order to accomplish the greater good. We saw a little bit of this in Rogue One, how they talked about how they had to sabotage and assassin and manipulate things in order for the rebellion to survive.
We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion. Everything I did for the rebellion. And every time I walked away from something I wanted to forget, I told myself it was for a cause that I believed in.
This is going to be awesome because we have always seen the rebels as this virtuous group of people with high moral character. And well, war is not always as black and white as it seems. And Andor is finally going to show us all the sides of this conflict between the Empire and the Rebellion. This time era will also allow us to see a few cameos from fan-favorite characters. And one of the biggest things that has gone unnoticed in the production of Andor is that Ewan McGregor has signed on to play the role of none other than Obi-Wan Kenobi in the show. And his role will not just be a single cameo, but it will be apparently a recurring character. Now, of course, we are also looking forward to seeing Ewan in his own spin-off Kenobi show, but I am still excited to see him in Andor as well. But what will his role be? I mean, isn't he just hanging out on Tatooine right now? Well, I don't think so. We know that Obi-Wan is an incredibly powerful and loyal ally. And while his main charge in exile was to watch over Luke Skywalker, I do not think that he would refuse a direct call for help. I mean, he answered Leia's call straight away in Episode 4, even though it meant putting Luke directly in danger. So it is not totally inconceivable to see Obi-Wan answering the call of the rebellion, especially if he feels that it is his job to do so through the Force. We learned from Episode 3 and from Rogue One that Bail Organa had a good relationship with Obi-Wan, and Mon Mothma knew who Kenobi was, and they both considered him an ally.
Friend. The Jedi.
And we could see this relationship unfold or expand in Andor. Perhaps Mon Mothma, who has also been confirmed to be in Andor, will call on the Jedi for aid in the early days of the rebellion. Maybe this will set up the conflict that we will see in the Kenobi show. You know, maybe they'll have some tie-ins with one another. I mean, it has been said that Obi-Wan will be a recurring character in Andor, so maybe this could lead to, you know, that rematch of the century that we've all been looking forward to in the Kenobi show. But I am guessing that Andor will show us that Obi-Wan Kenobi had a much larger role in the start of the rebellion than we realize. Another Force sensitive that will be making and playing a major role in Andor is none other than Ahsoka Tano. The Fulcrum is no stranger to the rebellion, so it only makes sense that she would be heavily involved in the early days as well. Andor could tell us where she was after Rebels, seeing as Andor takes place around 5 years before Episode 4, so obviously that takes place after the end of Star Wars Rebels. Not to mention that this could open up the door for the whole Ghost crew and anybody else that we met from Rebels to make an appearance as well in the Andor show, but, you know, that'll be for another video. Ahsoka has never been one to take a passive look at the galaxy, except in the sequel trilogy, but besides the point. So seeing her in the rebellion would be a very natural fit for her. Perhaps she would be directly assisting Cassian on his spy missions as she's looking for any surviving Jedi. Or maybe she will be this beacon of hope, the last known surviving Jedi, and this inspires more people to join the rebellion and to join the rebel cause. I can honestly totally see Ahsoka being the one who teaches Cassian that rebellions are built on hope.
Yeah, rebellions are built on hope.
So yes, Ahsoka will also be appearing in Andor alongside Obi-Wan, and maybe this could even lead the door for them to have a run-in with Darth Vader. I mean, obviously the show Andor takes place after Rebels, so Ahsoka knows that Vader is Anakin, and Anakin knows that Ahsoka is alive. And this could lead to just a whole nother mess of problems, and maybe even, hopefully, a live-action confrontation between the two, which would be amazing. But, I mean, with Ahsoka being in the show as well, we could also see maybe even another familiar face like Captain Rex. I mean, he's with Ahsoka at this time, and he could very well make an appearance in Andor, being played by, of course, Temuera Morrison. There are so many characters that could be appearing, and honestly, this show could be like a live-action sequel to Star Wars Rebels, and perfectly lead into Rogue One and A New Hope. I mean, it would just... I'm excited for this show. The era, the characters, everything like that. And on top of all of that, the man himself, George Lucas, has been confirmed to be writing for the show. Now, I don't know about you guys, but George Lucas is the best Star Wars writer in history, and it's not even close. I mean, the guy invented the whole thing, so I don't even think that it's a contest. And to have him coming back is so special. And he's just not directing, but he's writing as well, providing a story, giving the script and a backbone to the actual show. So I am actually looking forward to seeing how the Imperial Senate is being run and how the little seeds of rebellion are being planted within the galaxy. I mean, come on, it's George Lucas. Of course there's going to be a political scene, you know, I mean, there better be. I'm looking forward to it. I actually really enjoyed the whole political, scenes in the prequels. So yeah, Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, these rebels, who were officially part of the rebellion, were also still Imperial senators, and seeing them having to sneak around, spying, plotting, constantly living in fear and fighting against the Empire in the chambers of the Senate would be awesome to see. And I honestly wouldn't want anyone else besides George Lucas to write it. I mean, say what you will about the prequel political scenes, but I personally enjoyed them a lot, and I would love to get the same type of feel, but from the Empire's perspective, and to see really how far the Republic has fallen. Anyway, but plus the fact that George Lucas would be able to set up the timetable and really, set the stage for the rest of the show with the episodes that he's writing, and it would kick off the Andor show and give it the start that it needs in order to be the best Star Wars that we will ever get. So all of this stuff together, George Lucas coming back, Obi-Wan and Ahsoka being involved, not to mention all the other characters that could be making an appearance in the show, these things are going to make Andor the best Star Wars content ever. Better than The Mandalorian in my opinion, and maybe, I need to be really careful with saying this, maybe, possibly, maybe better than The Clone Wars. Alright, I'm just saying that, okay, and it's done. I am loving the direction that Star Wars is heading. There are always ups and downs within any organization, and a lot more within Lucasfilm for some reason. But I am hoping that there will be a change soon, and that things, instead of moving up and down, will just finally take off and move up and up. And that we will just consistently get good and great Star Wars material moving forward, and that we won't have to worry about anything else besides that galaxy far, far away. Anyway, that's it for today's video. If you liked what you saw today, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars content. And remember to forever be a Star Wars fan.